and daily application. So we will start Oracle architecture, Oracle database architecture. We have any idea about the Oracle? Anyone? Do you have any Oracle hands-on experience or idea, knowledge?
Yeah, just querying. I have how to
Sorry?
query, how to query to get the data. DDL, DML operations.
SQL statements.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. What about Hari Bala?
Like that only, little bit on the installation side.
No idea.
Okay, Bala?
No idea. Zero knowledge.
Okay. Oracle database. Oracle is a database, right? What is mean by database?
Store the data in tables.
Store our
Data into tables.
business data. So where, how my business data will store? My business data will store in a tables, correct? So Oracle is one of the database is supported by my SAP application software. My SAP application software can support different types of different types of databases, correct? My SAP application can support different types of databases. In that databases list, Oracle is one of the database. Okay. What are the databases can support my SAP application software?
SQL
Oracle,
or DB2,
SQL Server, DB2, Informix, SAP HANA. So these are the different types of databases can support my SAP application software. Support means what? I can install database on the top of database. My SAP application software can install. Means my SAP software can talk to my database. Correct. So every database will have some RDBMS standards, right? Relational Database Management System standards, correct? So we'll discuss about the Oracle architecture and SAP related, how my SAP related Oracle architecture and how my Oracle can work with my SAP, okay, and how we can install and what are the files we have in Oracle architecture, okay. Excuse me. So Oracle is one of the database. It's a database is nothing but a collection of data, and the data will be stored in database tables. Correct. Whenever we are talking about the Oracle database relating to SAP, so the data files, all the data files will be stored in a table spaces. Remember the naming conversions of these SAP related, some database related, some naming conversions. Okay. So all the data will be logically, it will call it as a table spaces. All the data files, ultimately, uh, database is storing in tables. One second. database will store in a tables, correct? But logically means physically how my data is storing in data files only. Got my point? This is logically. Logically, database data will be stored in a tables level. Physically, all the data will be stored in a data files. We can see at operating system level. These data files we can see at operating system level. Okay, and logically, all the data files will be stored in a table spaces. In table spaces, all my data files will be stored. Okay, we have some list of table spaces. List of table spaces we have in SAP with the Oracle database. Oracle database. We'll see what are the list of table spaces are there. Okay. Whenever we are talking about Oracle database, so we have three different parts are there in Oracle database. If you are talking about SAP, every SAP system will have some buffers, memories, and we have some SAP application related files at OS level, correct? So in database level also, we have data files and we have some memory parameters, memory area, and we have some background processes. So these all are related for my Oracle database only. So these all are will work with my, these are all are will work means will talk with my on the top of SAP application software. Whenever we are talking about Oracle, we have a data files at OS level, okay? And every Oracle database we have some memory area, okay? That is called it as a SGA, means System Global Area, System Global Area. And in Oracle database, what are the tasks are running, how they can run using the background processes. Every background not work process, only background process. So every background process will provide, okay, some services. Based on that, my Oracle database will work. If you're talking about SAP, in SAP what we have? We have at OS level SAP related files, and on the top of SAP related memory and SAP related work processes, right? Each and every work process will provide some services. Based on that, my SAP application will work using the memory and using the OS level files, correct? So in the same scenario, Oracle also will have some structure. What is the structure? Some background processes are there, some memory parameters, some memory area is there, and data files are there. So we will discuss what is the background processes are there, what is the memory are there, and what are the different data files are there at OS level. What are the different files are there for operating at operating system level. Got my point? So whenever we are talking about SAP, we will call it as an instance, correct? SAP instance. So in Oracle also we call it as an Oracle instance. What we can call Oracle instance? What is meant by Oracle instance? Means the combination of Oracle background processes and memory buffers is called it as an Oracle instance. This is whenever you have an Oracle database, definitely we have Oracle background processes and Oracle memory. So the combination of background processes and memory, we call it as one Oracle instance. This is Oracle instance. Okay, it's a combination of background process and memory buffers. That is called it as an Oracle instance. And next, whenever my Oracle instance is started, okay, whenever Oracle instance is started, then SGA will be allocated. What is meant by SGA? SGA is nothing but a memory. What is the definition of SGA? System Global Area. Okay. Whenever my Oracle instance is started, SGA will be allocated for Oracle instance. Okay. What is meant by SGA? Is a System Global Area. So this SGA will be allocated by my Oracle instance. Got it? Means every Oracle instance we have a SGA. What it contains? We are talking SGA is a memory and SGA abbreviation is a System Global Area. And internally what it contains? SGA contains copies of data and control information for the corresponding Oracle instance. When instance has been stopped, the SGA also deallocated. See what it contains. SGA, it contains the copies of data. Where is my data? Here in the third layer. Here my data has been stored physically, correct? So the data will be copied from the database files to SGA. Okay, SGA contains the copies of data and control information of the corresponding Oracle instance. Means this Oracle instance control information means what? Whole history of my Oracle instance information. Okay, the whole status of my Oracle instance information will be available in my SGA.
What
Got
will be
it?
the size of SGA? Memory size?
Sorry?
What will be the size of SGA so that it can hold database files
We
copies?
have some SGA related memory parameters. Every parameters we have some memory calculations have. Okay, we will see that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So finally, SGA, what it contains? SGA contains a copies of data and control information of my Oracle instance. Okay, and when my Oracle instance has been shut down, what will happen? The SGA will be deallocated. So no use of SGA. Whenever my Oracle instance has been up and running, then only SGA will be allocated for that particular instance. If my Oracle instance is not started, then what will happen? The SGA will be deallocated. Okay. And here, what we discussed till now about SGA. If Oracle instance is started, SGA will be allocated. If Oracle instance is stopped, SGA will be deallocated. Now, whenever Oracle instance is started, then Oracle related background processes will be started. Oracle related background processes also will be started. Okay. If my Oracle instance is shut down, then what will happen? All the background processes, what are the background processes are there for Oracle? So those background processes will be stopped. Okay. Next. Sorry. So in Unix environment, Oracle processes are visible as operating system processes. On Windows environment, okay, they are implemented as threads which run with an Oracle operating system processes, means oracle.exe. Okay, this means that they do not appear in the operating system process display. So what it is saying is, in Windows platforms, the background processors will be worked with the threads. So all these will run with my exe file, oracle.exe file. So that's why this means they do not appear in the operating system level for Windows platform. In Unix environment, we can see the Oracle processes are visible at operating system processors. Okay, so we can see with the operating system processors in Unix environment. Got it? Every database is a unique identified in the network by system identifier. Means every database will have some SID. How my how my SAP SID is there. So same like that, we have a database SID also will be there, and it's a 3-digit number only, alphanumeric number. Okay. So this is the my Oracle architecture. So we have 3 layers. One is the background processes, another is SGA, another is my files, data files, database related files. Okay. Now see here, background process 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 background processes are there, and on the top of background process, these are my SAP related work processes request. SAP related work process will be required to talk to my database. Okay, and we have a Oracle listener process also is there. Oracle listener process. And in the second layer, this is SGA, system global area. In SGA, what are the different memories are there? Database buffer cache, shared pool, okay, shared SQL area, row cache, and redo log buffers. Okay, redo log buffers. So these are the different types of buffers are there in my SGA. In the third layer, what are the different files are there? One is a file initialization parameter files. Initialization parameter files means database related profile parameters, and control files and data files, and online redo log files and offline redo log files. Online redo log files, offline redo log files. What is the use of these redo log files? To, if my database has been crashed suddenly, then using online redo log files, using offline redo log files, I can recover my database. Got my point? I can recover my database using these files. What is data files? Ultimately, in my data will be stored in a data files only. Physically, we can see this at operating system level. My data will be stored in data files. These data files we can see in operating system level. What is control files? Whenever my Oracle instance is running, means Oracle means what? This processes, all the processors, all the background process, all the memories, and all the files, whenever my Oracle instance is started, is up and running, is working, then the whole status information of my Oracle instance will be stored in my control files. Okay, and what is my initialization parameter files? Profile parameters. So database will have some profile parameters. So whenever my database has been started, so it will read based on the profile parameters. It will read, and it will read the control file information. What is the state of my current database? Based on that, my database will up and running. My database will start. Okay. So now we will discuss one by one layer. Okay, this all the lines, what are the matter is there in this presentation. So it is very understandable only. Okay, if you read carefully at one time, then you can understand very easily. Okay, I will share you this document and go through this lines topic wise. Okay, you can understand easily. Now we are discussing about the Oracle architecture. After an Oracle instance is started, a special process will be started. The special process name is a listener. Okay. What is the use of listener? Listener, it will allow the database clients and the instance to communicate with each other. It allows the database clients and instance to communicate with each other. Means what? So these are my database clients. So Oracle Listener will give you establish a communication between database clients to my Oracle instance to communicate at each other. And when it will started, when Oracle instance is started, a special process will be started, that is the listener process. And listener process is not part of a Oracle instance, and it is a part of a networking related processes. Okay, and it will work with the Oracle instance. It will work with the Oracle database. Oracle process is not a Oracle instance related services or process. It is a network related process, and it will work with my database, Oracle. Okay, and how I can monitor whether my listener business service is working or not using this command. At operating system level, we can execute this command ls-nrctl. Okay, and space status. If you give a status, then it will give you the status information of my listener service. And if you want to start, you can use a start command. If you want to stop, you can use a stop command like lsnrctl status, lsnrctl start, lsnrctl stop. Okay. So listener
Aura
service.
sheet?
Sorry.
Aura SID. Aura.
Aura
Login.
SID.
Yeah. Login with Aura SID. ORA SID.
Aura SID, we will log in. Aura SID, using Aura SID only, we can work with the Oracle related steps, Oracle related activities. Okay.
Yeah.
We have a two service, we have two users will be created at operating system level, right?
Yeah.
One is SID ADM, another one is the Oracle SID. Oracle SID is for a Linux operating systems for Oracle database. Then we can use this Oracle SID and we can do our Oracle database related activities. Okay.
Okay.
That is about the listener process. Now, when a work process makes a request to connect to the database, then what will happen? Now, one of the work process needs to talk to my database. Then what will happen? The listener creates a dedicated server process and it will establish a proper connection. Now, the requirement came, one of the work process is required to connect to my database, to talk to my database. Then what will happen? Listener will create one dedicated server process. If you see here, this is the server processes. Okay, these are the server processes. It will create dedicated server process and establish a proper communication. Means proper connection it will establish. So that is the role of my listener. Okay. Then whenever the dedicated server process is created, the dedicated server process, we call it as a shadow process. The dedicated server process, we call it as a shadow process. Means the separated server process created on behalf of each work process. Generally for each user process, we call it as a shadow process. Shadow process is nothing but what? Whenever user request, whenever my work process makes a request to connect to database, listener will assign one dedicated server process. That dedicated server process we call it as a shadow process. Okay. So when a work process has lost its connection to my database, for example, the connection has been lost between my work process to my database. The connection has been lost. Then what will happen? it will automatically reconnect after the database server is available again. Okay, and database request is to be processed. Whenever my work process wants to talk to database, listener will allow dedicated shadow process and it will establish a communication channel connection. For example, that connection has been lost, then what will happen? It will reconnect automatically whenever my database is available, and once it is reconnected, then the request will be processed. Okay. Now, database is stored in data files on disk level. Disk level means what? Physically, all the databases, my database will be stored in my data files only. And to accelerate read and write access to the data, it is called in the database buffer cache in the SGA. Okay, and ultimately, what is the use of SGA? It's a memory only. What is the use of memory? Whenever my work process wants to talk to my database, it will not directly communicate with my data files. It will not directly connect to the data files. Whatever the data will be stored from the database to SCA, it will read from the SCA only. It will write in the SCA only. Why? Because in the memory, the read-write access will be fast. So that purpose we have a memory concept for Oracle instance. Okay. So ultimately, my database will be stored in a data files only, physically. Means on disk level it will store. And if I want to improve my read and write access, how I can improve? So the data will be stored in a database buffer cache only. Where my database buffer will store? The database buffer will be stored in my SGA. Okay. Now, these are my data files at physical level, at disk level. Now this is my SGA. In SGA I have one of the part is database buffer cache in SGA. Okay, we will see what is the use. The Oracle Database Management System holds the executable SQL statements in my shared SQL area. We have one more SGA part. What is that? Shared SQL area. What it contains? The Oracle database related executable SQL statements will be stored in my shared SQL area. And this is a part of shared pool. This is part of my shared pool. This is part of my shared pool area. And it is allocated in SGA. Where is my shared pool? The shared pool is allocated in SGA itself only. Okay. Now, another part of shared pool, we call it as a row cache. What it contains? It contains the Oracle data dictionary information. See here, row cache. Shared SQL area, row cache is a part of shared pool area, and shared pool is a part of my SGA. Okay. So shared SQL area, it contains executable statements, SQL statements, and row cache is contains Oracle data dictionary informations. Okay. Now databases are stored in a data files on hard disk. So these are my data files. So these will be stored in my disk level. Now, whenever data is never processed on the disk themselves. Okay, means directly my work process directly cannot talk to my data files. How it will work? First of all, it will first copy the data by associated shadow process from the disk level to database buffer cache in the system global area. Where is my database buffer cache is allocated? This database buffer cache is a part of my SCA only. This database buffer cache is a part of SDA. So database are stored in a data files in hard disk level. However, data is never processed on the disk themselves. Means my work process will not communicate directly to the data files level. How it will work? It is first copied by the associated shadow process from the disk to database buffer cache in SGA. Where is my shadow process? This is my shadow process. Using this shadow process, the data files will be stored from data files to database buffer cache. The database buffer cache is a part of SGA. So that's why this is the diagram.
What is data dictionary information?
Data dictionary tables. There are different types of tables will be there. If you are talking about SAP related objects, we have a SAP related dictionary objects are there, like tables, structures, fields, like indexes. So we call it as a data dictionary information. Means data dictionary tables. Information is nothing but tables.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, the database writer process, it writes the dirty blocks to disk in the following situations. We will see what is this. The database writer. Database writer means this one. DBW0 means one of the background process. Each background process will provide some services. Using those services only, my database will work. So database writer. What is mean by database writer? What it contains? Which one? No, not this. Hey, we skipped one more before that. We have one more. The smallest logical unit in an Oracle database. Okay, what is the smallest unit? The copying data between data files and the buffer cache, as well as the managing data in the cache, is data block. Data block means, see here there are so many blocks are there, small blocks, right? So ultimately the data will be stored in a block level only. Database level, block wise, the data will be stored. The data block is the smallest unit in my Oracle database. This is the smallest unit. In each and every data block, my data will be stored. And whenever I'm doing SAP installations, the block size will always 8 KB. 8 KB is a block size, each and every block size. In that block, the data will be stored. Okay, and Oracle always tries to keep the most recently used data block in the buffer cache. Where is my buffer cache? This is my buffer cache. So what Oracle will do, it will try to keep most recently used data blocks. Most recently used data blocks means what? Most recently used data. Okay, that will be stored in a data block. So this most recently used data blocks will be stored in a buffer cache, database buffer cache. Okay, any changes, for example, there are some changes are there, some inserts, updates, or some modifications, deletions are there. Then what will happen? always it will perform in the buffer cache only. All the modifications will be done in a buffer cache only. The modifications will not perform directly in a data files level. First of all the modifications will be done in my buffer cache only. Okay, and after that what will happen? One Oracle shadow process itself never copies modified data blocks from buffer cache to the disk, where we are here. Any changes to Oracle data like inserts, updates and deletions are always performed in the buffer cache only. This is one point. Second point, an Oracle shadow process itself never copies modified data blocks from the buffer cache to disk. This is the task of a special background process called a database writer. Here I have a dirty blocks. What is meant by dirty blocks? Dirty blocks is nothing but modified data blocks. Modified means what? Some inserts are there, some updates are there, some deletions are there. So whenever the data has been modified in a data blocks, that we call it as a dirty blocks. Okay, so my Oracle shadow process will talk to my Oracle buffer area, database buffer cache, correct? So whenever the modifications are done, those blocks we call it as the dirty blocks. This dirty blocks data will not copy to the data files by my shadow process. My shadow process will never do that. Who will do? One of my background process, Oracle background process. We have 6 different types of background processes are there. In that, one of the Oracle background process, database writer, will perform this activity. Okay, database writer. So we'll see what it contains. When my database writer background process write the changed blocks information, means dirty blocks information from database buffer cache to disk level. When it will when it will write the information, my database writer. We have some conditions are there. Based on the conditions only, my database writer write the dirty blocks information from database buffer cache to data files. Okay, we'll see what is the conditions. 1. Buffers in the buffer cache that contains the dirty blocks may not be reused until these blocks have been copied back to disk. Means whenever the dirty blocks are there, dirty blocks means what? Already changed. The data has been modified. So those blocks we call it as dirty blocks. Those dirty blocks will not be reused until those blocks have been copied back to my disk level. Once the data has been copied to the disk level, then the dirty blocks can be reused again. Okay, so when a shadow process needs to copy the data from the disk to buffer, okay, first what will happen? It will scan the database buffer cache and non-modified reusable buffers. If the number of scanned buffers reaches a certain threshold value, in database level we have some threshold values will be created automatically. Okay, whenever we have installed, the threshold values will be created automatically. Got it? Now, when a shadow process needs copy a data from disk to buffer cache, means this is the disk to buffer cache, then what will happen? First it will scan the database buffer cache and it will check what are the non-modified reusable buffers are there. Okay, and if the number of scanned buffers, it is scanning, right? So whenever it's scanned, the scanned buffer value is reached some threshold value, then what will happen? shadow process, it will give you a signal. The shadow process will give you a signal to my database writer. Where is my database writer? Here. This is the one of the background process. So my shadow process will give you a signal to the database writer. It will give you a signal. Who will give you a signal? My shadow process will give you a signal to my database writer. What is the signal? Was to start writing some of the modified blocks to disk level. Some of the modified blocks means what? Here. What are the dirty blocks are there? So those dirty blocks you can write from database buffer cache to disk level. This is performed by my database writer background process. Okay. How it is performing? My shadow process is giving a signal to my database writer. Then once the signal has came from shadow process, then immediately my database writer will write the dirty block information from database buffer cache to data files. So that is one of the first condition. Got my point? This is one of the first condition. And whenever my database writer is written all the modified blocks to disk level, then it will release, it will free the information. Means those dirty blocks will be used again. Okay, it will make them as a free. Okay, and this is my first condition. This is my first condition. Database writer is writing the information from a database buffer cache to disk level. Okay, and we'll see what is the second condition. The second condition is all modification buffers in the HGA are written to the data files by the database writer. Correct? All the dirty blocks will be copied into the data files by my database writer. Correct? This process is called it as a checkpoint. Okay? And checkpoint process, CKPT. CKPT is one of the background process, Oracle background process. Okay? Triggers the database writer to perform the process. Okay? Whenever checkpoint has been occurred, then what will happen? The checkpoint process, it will trigger the database writer. It will trigger to database writer. Once trigger has been came from checkpoint, then database writer will do their work. What is the work of database writer? To perform the process. Like again, it will read dirty blocks information from buffer cache to disk level only. Okay, this is my second condition. And what is my third condition? Although one database writer process, database writer is sufficient for most of the systems. Additional database writer process, DBW1 and so on, may be configured in exceptional cases. And you can read this information. Okay, you can see the more information about my database writers and additional database writers. If you require, then we can read these SFE notes for more information. Okay. So these are the different conditions. These two are my different conditions. My database writer can write the information from database buffer cache to disk level. See here, this is my database buffer cache. The data files will be stored from disk level to database buffer cache. After that, my database writer will write the dirty blocks information from database buffer cache to disk level. Okay. Now, we have redo log buffer. We have one more buffer is there. Database buffer is there, and we have a redo log buffers. This is my database buffer cache. Till now we discussed about the database buffer cache only. Now we are discussing about the redo log buffers. This one. To prevent data loss, okay, to avoid data inconsistencies, okay, and prevent data loss and to avoid data inconsistencies means what? Sometimes suddenly my Oracle database has been shut down, or sometimes my Oracle database has been crashed. At that time, what will happen? So my database means my RDBMS, my database will maintain the logs information. What is meant by logs? What is the data changes are there in a log area? Why? Because all the data changes will be done in my SGA only, not directly in a data files, right? So if I use my database connections, or my database has been crashed, then what will happen? Using a log area data, I can recover my database. Okay. And this provision is provided by my Oracle RDBMS database. Okay. So to achieve that, data consistency, what will happen? And read consistency, what will happen? Oracle maintains all the redo entries in one area, and undo entries also it will maintain all the redo entries and undo entries. What is mean by redo entries? All my changed information, like all my dirty blocks information, we call it as the redo entries. What is my undo entries? Undo entries means what? Those are not stored in my data files, means those are not still saved. Saving, what we call it as a saving in database, commit. Saving is nothing but a commit. Okay. So what are the changes are not saved in my data files? Those entries we call it as a redo entries. Those redo entries also we can roll back. Okay. And what it means, what it contains, redo entries means what? Undo entries, sorry. Undo entries means what? Uncommitted transactions. Uncommitted means what? These changes are not saved. Commit means saving. Uncommitted means not saving. Okay. So redo entries is nothing but a committed transactions. Undo entries is nothing but a uncommitted transactions. Got my point? So now the Oracle background processors log writer. One of the Oracle background process is log writer. What it do? What is the job of my log writer background process? It will write the continuous portions of the redo log buffer sequentially to my online redo log files to disk. See here. This is my redo log buffers, okay, and log writer will write this redo log buffer information continuously into my online redo log files. These online redo log files, where it will store? The online redo log files will be stored in my physical level, means database disk level, right? Hard disk level, the online redo log files will be stored. So the online redo log file contains 4 online redo log files. By default, whenever we install my Oracle database, we contain the 4 online redo log files will be installed. Okay. Redo entries in the online redo log area are used database recovery if necessary. The redo entries is means what? the entries are there in my online redo log files, but means the redo entries means what? Redo entries means committed transactions. Okay, so redo entries in my online redo log area used for database recovery if necessary. In redo entries will be stored in an online redo log files. Whenever my data has been crashed suddenly and using online redo log files, I can do a database recovery if necessary only. Okay. Now my log writer, what will do my log writer background process? The log writer, it will write the information from the redo log buffer to online redo log files. So this one, the log writer will read the redo log buffer information from redo log buffer cache to online redo log files. This is the job of my log writer. Okay. When it will work? At what conditions the log writer writes the information from redo log buffer to online redo logs? The conditions are when a transaction has been commit. Okay, this is my first condition. When my transaction has been commit means what? When I saved my transaction. That is one condition. And second condition, every 3 seconds. Every 3 seconds. And third condition, when the redo log buffer means online redo log buffer is 1/3 full. 1/3 full. So these three conditions, based on these three conditions, my log writer, it will write the information from redo log buffers to all files. These are the different conditions. When a transaction is commit every 3 seconds and when my online redo log buffer size is a 1/3 full. Okay.
Yeah, in redo log file, only the information will be there, not data, no?
Information means what?
Like database tables information will be there.
Yes.
Yeah, in redo log file, only the logs will be maintained, whatever transactions are happening.
What are the committed
Those will be
transactions
maintained.
are there? Those committed
Yeah.
transactions information will be there from my redo log buffers to online redo log buffers. Who will perform this activity? My log writer. Correct? At
Okay.
depending on three conditions.
Yeah. Even this database can be restored with the help of redo log files.
With the help of online redo log files. Why? Because this all information will be stored in every committed, every 3 seconds, every 1/3 full. This will be stored in physically in my online redo log files. Physically, I'm talking about. I have a physically online redo log files are there. Using this, I can do a database recovery.
Yeah. So this will automatically pulls the data physically.
From where?
Yeah, that's what from where it will pull. It will have only online how we will restore the database with on redo log files. How the data physically will captured.
Here in online redo log files, offline redo log files.
Yeah.
These are the physical files.
Okay. Including these files, we need data files also to restore database, no?
Yeah, data files
Okay.
also is physical. Using data files, online redo log files, offline redo log files, we can perform a recovery.
Okay. This also we have to perform, Ramu sir, or database team will handle?
Depends on your project. If you, in your project, if you have a database team separately, then they can take care about the backups and restores. But as a basis consultant, you have to do a database backups and restores also. As a
Through
basis
SAP
consultant,
we
you
can
need to
do?
perform. Sorry?
Through SAP we can do all this?
Not SAP level. SAP has given some tools for database specific tools. Using database specific tools, we can perform the backups and we can perform the restores. And these backups we can do at SAP application level also. We can schedule, we can run the backups, or we can run at operating system level using a database specific tools, and we can restore at operating system level using a database specific tools.
Okay.
Where we are,
Log writer. When a transaction commits every 3 seconds,
this one, right?
yeah.
So when a user commit a transaction, what will happen? The transaction is assigned a system change number, SCN number will be assigned. When a transaction has been committed, immediately SCN number will be generated, and this SCN number will be assigned by my Oracle database system only. My system will assign SCN number automatically for every committed transactions. Okay, and this SCN number should be maintained, right? Now I need to maintain somewhere else, right? So my Oracle, it will record the SCN numbers, okay, with transactions information, okay, in my redo log, in my redo log buffer here. Means SCN number will be there and committed transaction information will be there in my redo logs. Who will perform this? My database will perform. SCN number will be generated and it will record the information to redo log buffer area. Okay, and undo entries during database recovery. Okay, we will discuss tomorrow the remaining part. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So I will send you this. I will share you this document. Go through this document. Okay.
Yeah.
So we are in 10th slide. Remember this 10th slide. We are in 10th slide. Tomorrow we will discuss from 10th slide. Okay. About Saturday timings, today I will ping you. Got it?
Yeah.
Complete architecture information is there in this slide, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
All the
How many
information is there. Architectures. Huh? Sorry? Come again?
Total how many slides we will have in this?
Why? If it is more slides, you're not interested? Total 28.
Okay.
Now we are in 10th slide. Tomorrow we'll discuss from 10th slide. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I will share you. And till now, how many slides we completed? 9 slides. Just go through the up to 9 slides and understand the logic. Okay, don't by heart. Just understand the logic. Logic in the sense what? Just understand the one story wise, one movie story wise. We have some background processes are there. We have SGA is there. We have files are there. In background process, what are the different services processes are there? And in SGA, what are the different parts are there? In files, physical level, what are the different files are there? Okay, understand as a story wise. Don't by heart.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay then, tomorrow we'll meet. Okay.